I would like to talk about ESG investing. ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance investing. So when we consider ESG investing, the issue of what is called negative screening will come into play. There's positive screening and there's a negative screening. So this video, I want to talk about negative screening. So negative screening is an investment strategy or approach where certain companies or industries or sectors, or practices are deliberately excluded from a potential portfolio based on specific criteria such as ethical, social, environmental, or financial standards. So you screen companies based on these factors. This strategy is commonly used by investors who want to avoid supporting businesses or sectors that conflict with their personal, value, goals, or preferences. So let's look at the key features of negative screening. The key features of negative screening. Number one is exclusion-based criteria. Exclusion, based on criteria. You exclude companies based on certain criteria you've developed. So investors exclude companies involved in activities considered undesirable, unethical, or harmful, such as tobacco, such as weapons, fossil fuel, gambling, or maybe human rights, violation, or companies that use and sweatshop, you know, to manufacture their goods in emerging economies. Number two is ethical and ESG investing. Ethical and ESG investing. ESG here, as I told us earlier, it means environmental, social, and governance. All right, and so negative screening is often part of ESG investing. So where investors prioritize, ethical consideration alongside financial returns. They want to make money and at the same time equally wants to adhere to personal values, preferences, or goals, as the case may be. Number three is alignment with values. Alignment with values. So it allows investors to align their portfolio with their personal or institutional values. Supporting industries that meet certain moral, environmental, or societal standards. Number four is customization. Investors can tailor their portfolio to exclude companies or sectors based on their personal preferences or maybe societal concerns. Like maybe not investing in interest-bearing, companies that offers interest-bearing, maybe financial instruments or whatsoever, something of that nature. So examples of negative screening. Let's look at examples of negative screening. So in this case, excluding companies that contribute to environmental degradation, such as those involved in coal mining or deforestation. So not only that, avoiding companies that produce harmful products like firearms, like alcohol, maybe like tobacco, all right? And also omitting companies with poor labor practices or questionable human rights records. So these are examples of negative screenings, all right? So let's consider the advantages of this approach to investing. So in this case, there's an ethical alignment. In other words, your portfolio is aligned to your personal value, You don't buy into things that conflict with your belief. There's a potential for positive impacts. By avoiding industry with negative societal impacts, you are invariably contributing to companies that favor the environment, kind of, with better corporate behavior. And there's also risk mitigation. Risk mitigation. Some investors believe that excluding companies with ethical or social issues kind of like reduces risk associated with reputational damage or regulatory scrutiny. You avoid the fact that the company you're invested in could be called into question, could have issues with the regulatory authorities. All right, please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you've not done that. Let's look at the challenges involved in negative screening. In this case, there's limited investment universe. When it comes to this particular investment universe, is kind of narrow, all right, because of the fewer investment opportunities, and this could potentially, lead to a kind of reduced diversification. By the time you exclude tobacco, firearms, firearms, and in some cases even financial institutions, because they are interest bearing on in nature. You discover that, and the more you exclude all these sectors, the narrower your alternative becomes as an investor. So there's that limitation when it comes to broader investment opportunities. This performance concern, actually, the strategy might limit access to high-performing companies that don't meet, your screening criteria, potentially affecting returns. You have companies that are doing very, very well. Maybe in the defense, all the defense contractors, they are doing exceptionally well, but you can't invest because of a personal value of not supporting companies involving in killing and destructions. So there's a subjectivity. It's highly subjective actually. What qualifies as negative or undesirable can vary, widely between investors, leading to a kind of inconsistent application of the strategy. One man's meat is another man's poison. And by the time you rate what is considered desirable or acceptable within a scale of 1 to 10, it varies based on individuals. So negative screening is widely used in socially responsible, investing and impact investing as well, where the goal is not only to achieve financial returns, but to have a positive impact in the society, in the community, by avoiding investing in industries or practices that conflict with the investors' ethical belief. Personally, no matter how much the breweries are making, I won't invest in Nigerian breweries. I will not invest in champion breweries. I will not invest in any brewery in the Nigerian stock market. I don't. That's my personal kind of negative screening. You may have yours as well.